Okay. Cooperative Legacy Project interview number 58, November 17th, 2006. We're visiting with Joe Hieb, longtime Lyman County Cooperative leader and member of the South Dakota Co-op Hall of Fame. Joe, when and where were you born?
I was born on a farm southwest of Freelines, about 9 miles southwest of Freelines.
Mm-hmm. And when was that?
In 1924.
1924. Where was your family originally from? Hieb sounds German.
They actually come from Germany, and they homesteaded. My grandfather homesteaded south of Freelines.
Okay, and that was their first stop when they got here?
That's the first stop, yeah.
Okay. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I do. I have 3 brothers and 1 sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are their names?
Well, I'll take a mess. Ed, I'm the oldest one. Mm-hmm. Ed is the second one. Irvin is the third one, and Irvin is the second one, and Alan is the third one, and then Lillian is my sister.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What are they doing? Are they all?
They're all.
In the area?
Well, Irvin is retired, and so is Eddie.
Okay.
They're retired, and even Alan is retired now too. I don't know about Lil. Yeah. She's probably just a housewife or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What was your father's name?
John.
Mm-hmm. Would you like to talk a little bit about him? What sort of a guy was he?
Well, he was pretty strict. He was a down-to-earth man on everything he did. Of course, them days when I was a little boy did most of the stuff with the team and the horses, you know. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we've gradually moved up, and when I left the farm, Dad had moved up to an H-Farmal tractor and, the machinery that fitted.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So.
Mm-hmm. What was your mother's name?
Margaret.
You want to talk a little bit about her? What sort of person was she?
She was, I'd say she was a dedicated housewife. Mm-hmm. She really made a home. And all of us children, because of that, my mother and my dad, we turned out what I call, respectable citizens. Mm-hmm. We're not no criminals or anything.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did your parents belong to any cooperatives in Lyman County?
No, they didn't. No.
They didn't.
No.
And of course, the rural electric, when you were born, certainly wasn't there.
No.
Okay. What was it like on the farm and ranch when you were young? I suppose what you're starting to remember is just the beginning of the 1930s.
The 30s. We went through the dust storms at Tuft. Sometimes the dust blew so bad it looked like a blizzard. You couldn't see from the house to the barn because of dust. And the dust banks, dirt banks, was just like snowdrifts. So I went through that, and it blew the fields clean. It blew them off so much that we could go up and hunt for arrowheads, Indian arrowheads, and I had a big collection of them. But when I went into service, they disappeared. I don't know where they went.
Okay. Prices were not too good either for commodities at that time. No,
really.
So you weren't producing much, and you weren't getting paid much.
No, we milked cows. We ate milk cows, and we kind of lived on what the cream brought. We took it in. So,
did you do some gardening and that kind of thing?
Yes.
Most of the people I've talked to talked about it as being pretty tough and rough, but they always had plenty to eat.
They always had plenty to eat. Yeah, and gardening, my mother did. She was a good gardener, and we had an artesian well that pumped water when the wind blew, and that's the only time we could irrigate. We had to irrigate in the 30s. We didn't have no rain. So.
Yeah.
But food was never a big problem. Mom baked home-baked bread, about 2 or 3 times a week. And then we had dumplings with chicken. She raised her own chickens, So, and we just got along pretty good, really. I mean, wasn't fancy, nothing fancy, but...
Yeah. Did you lose some neighbors at that time? I know there were... people give up. Maybe it was
some of them
more thickly settled originally.
No, there was no sickness. Some of the neighbors moved away when the 30s got really bad. But my grandfather homesteaded there, and my father's farm, where I was born and raised, is about 2 miles southeast of the farm, where he homesteaded. And he kind of kept us together, the grandfather. It was tough. It was tough. We had a little schoolhouse there about 3/4 of a mile from home, and we had to walk there. We didn't have transportation like they do now.
Yeah.
We walked, cold or not cold.
Yes.
And we didn't have to park a coat, so all we had was a scarf around our face,
You remember the name of the school?
They call it the Hieb school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was the Hieb, it's little one-story. It isn't there anymore now, but it's gone. So.
There were a lot of those in South Dakota.
Yes, there was at one time. Every section had about 2 of them. Yeah. Maybe not quite that many, I don't know.
Yeah. So what was it like attending country school? You probably started school, what, about 1930 or so?
Well, let's see. I was, about that time. 32 is the last I remember. We had a pretty good crop in 32. And when I went to school, I remember one thing. I've never been much of a singer. I got up there and we sang. We had a glee club, they called it kind of a glee club. The teacher said, "You go sit down. You couldn't carry a tune in a bucket." Ruined my singing career.
I had a similar experience at home. Okay.
Yeah.
High school, did you go to high school?
Yes, I did. 4 years.
Where at?
At Reliance.
At Reliance.
Yes.
All right.
We don't have no school there anymore.
Yeah. When you were young, what did you want to do? Did you want to farm or ranch?
Well, really, I can't really say that because I went to service when I was 18,
Okay.
World War II. And when I got out of the service, the Standard Oil Agency was open. Nobody could make it. So Dad said, "I'll buy you a truck I'll buy you the truck. That's all you're going to get from home. Is if you want to try to take that." And I took it and made it work.
Okay.
So.
Okay. You want to talk a little bit about your war service? When did you joined? That would have been what, about 1942?
Let's see. I can't really tell you that right offhand. I know as well as when I was 18.
Yeah.
So. And I trained in Camp Groth, South Carolina, and went overseas, the Asiatic Pacific. I was German. There's 2 of us out of the battalion that trained. They shipped to the Asiatic Pacific. The rest they shipped over to Europe, And we had pretty tough going. That one battle I was in the 81st Infantry Division. They sent 68 of us up to the front lines, and 2 of us come back. I was one of them.
Oh, okay. Where was that at?
Leyte.
Oh, yeah.
Leyte, yeah. And when they finally come and rescued us, helped us, I couldn't stand up, and my clothes stunk so bad from the dead bodies around. 3 days in a foxhole without any food. We did get water because you could take your helmet off and hold it. It rained about every hour or so, 2 hours in a way, and we had the water, but we didn't have no food. 3 days, and I couldn't stand up. Then they took my clothes off and took the drinking water and washed me down, and then took me down, down to, was next to the ocean there. They had a field station, medical field station, and I was shot through the legs, and one bullet went through my helmet, but just grazed my head, and I never did get credit for what I got shot through the back part of my legs here when I was crawling from one hole to another hole. But I have nightmares. All the rest of my life I've had nightmares about that. Yeah. But it's over with, and I thought at that time when the war was over that this is the war of wars. We're no more going to have any more. But hell, we've had wars ever since.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We have.
I guess the Bible was right when they said there'll be wars and rumors of wars for the rest, forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you keep in touch with the other guy?
The other guy's dead.
He's dead now.
Yeah, he wouldn't. They wouldn't even his folks wouldn't even let me go see him.
Mm-hmm.
When I got out the service and come home, I went down to see him, and they wouldn't let me see him.
What was his name?
John Fry.
John Fry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
But that's my experience on the service then.
Okay. So you got back and you went into the oil business.
That's right. I was selected to get out of the farm. The other brothers had grown up, and there was not much room for me anymore. So Dad said he'd give me a truck if I would try that Standard Oil Agency. I had about 15 accounts when I first started. It was down terribly, run down. But I've gradually built it up, and I stayed there till. I believe it's 75, they went jobber, so I had to buy them out. But they sold it to me pretty cheap, and I bought them out. But and I got retirement from Standard Oil. So.
Okay. When did you meet your wife?
This is my third wife.
Okay.
I met her when her husband was, and her was my customers, and her husband died, and my wife, my second wife, left me. The first wife had leukemia and died, and the second wife left me, and so I kind of liked her, so I just thought I'd pursue it a little, and I did, and I've been 39 years. 39
years. That's a good long marriage. Kids?
Kids? 4 kids, 4 boys and a girl. Well, and a girl by that one, the second marriage, that didn't work. So, but four boys from the first marriage, and no children from the third marriage. But she had 3 of her own, and I had 4. So
okay, and where are they all at now?
Well,
the
oldest.
Their names.
The oldest one is Stacy, and he's a big shot in the train company, train air conditioning.
Oh, yeah.
Down out of Denver. And Joel is a school teacher, high school teacher up in Pierre. And David's got a ranch and a mail route. A ranch down on the river. And Lowell has got the service station up there that I used to have.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, and the daughter works at the hospital up there. But I don't have much to do with her because her mother wouldn't let me see it, so it's kind of bad.
Okay. When did people start talking about organizing a rural electric cooperative out here?
Well, about 1951. I didn't get on that right away.
Yeah.
No. One of the older guys come and interviewed me one day, and he said, I think you'd make a pretty good director. He said, we're going to give you a try. So I said, and I was brave then, and I said, well, I'll try it. And I've been on it for 40 years.
Okay.
They've tried to vote me off 3 or 4 times, but they never got the job done.
What was the process of getting electricity like out here?
Well, I can't really tell you how they did it, but everybody got it.
Yeah. When did you get it? Did you get it at your place?
But in 51. 51. Okay. Yeah. It's the towns. They took over the towns. You see, we were one of the luckier co-ops, the electric co-ops. We took the towns over too. So we got it's a very good co-op.
Yep.
Not because I'm a director, but because it's managed good, pays good dividends, and the system is in good shape all the time. We keep up very good, and I'm a stickler on that anyway.
And you of course, remember the days before there was electricity out
Yes, we had the kerosene lamp. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, and Dad had he got a little 32-volt Delco generator, and I was elected to get it started at night, and we'd run it for about maybe 2 hours,
Oh, so you get some use that electric
Like
lights in the house.
one little light hanging down. Yeah. So, and my grandfather had a Delco with batteries. Well, so did that generator. My dad had the 32-volt batteries, And we had electricity, but we only had it for lights, nothing else,
Yeah. Some folks had like wind chargers. And,
they had
small
wind. We
ones,
never did.
For the radio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, we had a battery. There was a 2-volt radio, battery radio. So what we had for radio.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. Was there were there particular things people were looking forward to getting once they had their house actually wired for electricity?
Well,
you could think about maybe more than that one light bulb.
Well, yes, the refrigerator. That was the number one thing, I think. And some of them, not very many of them, got electric stoves. They went we had the old wood stoves,
Yeah.
Cook stoves, and but we went electric. Gradually, it didn't go overnight, but when first of all, people didn't know how reliable it would be, but we've had a very reliable system.
Yeah. Was there some worry about electricity? I know in some areas people were, there were folks who had maybe economic interests in keeping people from it.
Oh no, we didn't have
stories
that.
about it.
No, we didn't have no problems.
None of that.
No.
Okay. Do you think that there would have ever been electricity out on the farms in a place like Lyman County or Jones County if there wasn't
I don't think so.
a rural electric cooperative?
There might have been. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. But the rural cooperative, electric cooperatives did more for this country, and I started the water system from the West River, Lyman, Jones, I got that going, and we got water in Lyman and Jones County now, water from the dam, from the river here. And there's three, now there's West River went in with us, and three Indian reservations.
Okay.
So, but, and it's working pretty good for us. I think it won't be as good as that electric, but it's good. People sure like it.
Yeah. You were elected to the board in 1965, I think.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, of the electric cooperative. By 1965, of course, you had everybody hooked up out here. What kind of issues you had to deal with in those early days?
Well, the big issues was really power, getting the power. But I think we got 17% from WACPA, and the rest is based on electric. So
yeah, you already could see that there wasn't enough power. On the dams
right, and we have very good management. They really looked out for us, and good people that work for us. Of course, we pay good wages. I'm a stickler on that.
Yeah.
If you got good people, pay them for it, and they should be rewarded for it.
Who were some of the people you worked with?
Well, the first manager was Howard North. He's the one that helped me organize the water system too that we got. I said to him one day when we was at a meeting, I said, "Why can't we have water lines like we got electric lines?" And he sat there a while and he said, "I'm going to look into that." And he did, and he helped me organize a board of directors at that. They're all dead now. And we went to Washington, D.C. to get authorized. We had to testify before our congressional delegation. Didn't do us much good. George Miller from California is the guy that says, after we got through testifying that one day, he said, "Hieb, I want to see you in my back room after we're through here." And I went back there and he said, "Can you prove everything you said?" And I said, "I sure can." And he said, "I'm going to see that you get authorized." So George Miller from California. Our delegation, I didn't have much faith in them. They sent their aides out to interview us. But once they seen that we was going to make her way, then they come out,
Mm-hmm.
So that's the part of that.
Mm-hmm. Who are some of the other directors that you worked with?
Well, the original directors, I can't name you all of them. In fact, I can't name you any of the original directors.
Mm-hmm.
But the original directors on the RA was Roy Wiseman and the other guy, a fellow that come and interviewed me. He's an older fellow too. There was only 5 directors at first. There's 10 now. Mm-hmm. And the guy come and interviewed me, and then we got 10 directors, and I was one of them. But and we had Fritz Chost for a manager, and now Steve Reed. And this Steve Reed is really good. Mm-hmm. He's really a good man. But what we got, they're all good. They're all doing their job. They're doing the way it should be done. Mm-hmm. I like it.
Mm-hmm. How much territory do you cover now?
5 counties.
5 counties.
Yeah.
And there have been, in recent times, quite a few mergers of some of the...
Well, we tried to merge her with Oahe, but we didn't get it done, I guess. See, we're 14 for... Let's see, how is that? 14 for... We're a higher voltage than other co-ops. Mm-hmm. The Hawaii was the same as we was going to merge, but we never got it done. So, mm-hmm. But it's all right. We're doing all right.
Yeah. Okay. And you have been on, as you say, you've been on there for
40 years. Yeah.
Do you know anybody else who's been on that long?
No.
Okay.
No.
Were you also active in the South Dakota Rural Electric Association?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep. I was interested in it. I liked it. Mm-hmm. I like electricity. Yeah. I like it better than I do water, but I do like water too because we need water. Good water. And I said everybody should have a drink of water out of the Missouri River, west of the river, because we got artesian wells, and that's so damn poor. That water, you can't hardly drink it. Oh, it stunk. Yeah. And sulfur content.
And once again, without a rural water system, you wouldn't have been able to do that.
No, that's right. We had one of our directors on the water systems got a herd of cattle, and he put half a herd in with well water and dams, and the other half with the rural water. And the ones with the rural water, the calves gained 30 pounds more average by the fall. Fall. So rural water is really going over good. We designed our system 10% above what we thought we'd need, and that's already used up. And we're using way more. We have to put in pump stations and booster pumps, and storage storage tanks, so we can keep up. But it's working good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Getting back to the rural electric, is this co-op part of Rushmore or East River?
Rushmore, yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Did you work with those folks much?
Well, quite a bit. I didn't really think we should have went directly to Basin, but I guess in the years that have passed now, I realized that they do their job too. Mm-hmm. So they're part of the business. Yeah. I thought we could eliminate that expense, Mm-hmm. I'm pretty conservative.
Some co-ops did that.
Yeah.
I think. I interviewed the former manager of Grand Electric, and they had gone straight to Basin.
Yeah. We didn't get it done. We tried it. We didn't get it done.
Mm-hmm. Did you have an opportunity while you were on that, while you've been on the board, to make some of the trips to Washington?
Oh yes.
That you talked about testifying.
All over, yes. And went to Hawaii on conventions, and practically. Well, Hawaii was strictly continental in the United States, and Hawaii, but never went to Europe. I never did go to Europe or anything. Mm-hmm. So.
Okay. Okay. I have to take a minute here because sometimes we cover questions that I've got on my list, but I've got to work my way to the next one that we haven't covered.
You bet. Take your time.
Okay, how did you go about getting your rural water system organized? People were probably ready for it. I mean.
Well, they were skeptical. They didn't think that could ever happen.
Yeah.
When you live maybe like in Presho or Kennebec or Draper or Murdo, about 65 miles away from the river water? No, they couldn't believe that. No, no way. But, with today's technology, it's possible. And we had quite a time. Howard North was the guy. He organized a board of directors, and we went to Washington and testified to get authorized, for grants. It's strictly a grant outfit.
Yeah. And you did do a merger?
No.
At some point? No,
we didn't merge. The water system, we merged with the water systems. Merged.
Yeah.
West River and 3 Indian reservations. That we had to do it in order to get funds. See,
okay.
The Indians are very...
They can get funds.
Yeah, they get funds. It makes it a lot easier when you've got them included.
Okay. Which counties are part of that now?
Lyman and Jones is the ones I started. And then now we got Jones and, not Jones, Millette and Pennington, part of Pennington, and Stanley. I can't name them right off the bat, but...
Okay. And do you now have everyone, getting back to your water system, do you have everybody hooked up who wants to be?
No. We figure we'll finish the project by 12. Oh,
okay.
Yeah. We got Lyman and Jones. They was the first ones.
Yeah. When did you get the first place hooked up?
It's been about 5 years ago, 6 years maybe.
So, all right. Okay, we're getting close to being done here.
Good.
How about other community activities?
Well, I was the fire chief. We had nothing but the cafe burned down. Took the hand carts out, and the hose was like a sprinkler system. They was rotten, no good. So when that fire was over, I was the fire chief. Then I went out around to the farmers, see if each one of them would give $50 to see if we can get a modern fire truck, a truck with a,
Sure.
We couldn't get a new one, but we got a used one. We got it for $3,850. I remember that. Guy at the implement dealer here in Chamberlain sold us a truck, pretty reasonable, a used truck. And we got, that's when, they got a pretty good fire department now, but that's when we mechanized. That was how we... And then I was the mayor at Reliance, and we got sewer system all over town, and we got water for everybody in town. Had to do it with plastic hose, but
yeah,
underground. Roy Oliver, but a guy by the name of Roy Oliver from Cooperative, he got the bid for putting water to everybody. All we had in town was a water tower and a main that went up to the schoolhouse, 4-inch main, and the rest of town didn't have any water. So he got the contract to put water, this plastic tube to everybody that wanted water in town. Then we found out that our septic tanks wouldn't drain because we got such poor soil that the soil wouldn't take the water. So we had to put a sewer system. So I put a gravity flow sewer system in town, and it's still there. Okay. Still working good.
What's the population over there?
Oh, about 300 maybe. I don't really know for sure.
Yeah. Okay. You're still facing pretty much the same challenges with the rural water system that you initially faced, and that's, I suppose, getting the money.
Yes, money is the big problem. Yeah, and this war isn't doing us any good. It's taking the funds.
Yeah.
But we're making pretty good progress. real good progress. We got one little area left up there in the northwest part of the system that we haven't got it all piped in, but we got Lyman Jones and Millette and Pennington, and Pennington gets some of their water from wells.
Yeah.
They got pretty good water out there.
Yeah, not true everywhere.
No, sure isn't in Lyman County or Jones County. Man, that is brackish water, believe me.
Yeah. What kind of advice would you give someone today who was maybe thinking about running for a board or something?
Well, first of all, you got to be interested in it, have an interest in it, and then convince other people that you would be the fellow that could do some good for them. I don't know what else. You have to work hard at it to get. I know I had to do that about 3 or 4 times when they tried to remove me from the board, but everybody wanted on the board, I guess, because it was such a good running co-op. They thought it'd be I don't know what they thought. Anyway, they tried to get me off. They didn't get me off. So, and I'm sure they had a right to run. Absolutely. Yes, you know, it's the way it goes. But I survived, and I like it. I like it. I've helped with this board in the 40 years I've been on there. I'm sure I did some good anyway.
Do you think young people out understand all the effort that had to go into bringing the services that exist today?
No, they don't. They don't understand that. And I'm just wondering whether these young people that, even some of the young people we get on the board, at first they don't understand what's going on, really. But they're coming around real good, I thought. So.
Okay. Would you describe yourself as an optimist or a pessimist?
I'm an optimist.
Well, I haven't had very many pessimists. I don't think pessimists get much done, do they?
No, they don't. No.
Okay. Is there anything that I haven't asked you about that you'd like to comment on from rural water?
I think you pretty well covered it. I think you did a good job.
All right. We've been visiting with Joe Hieb. Thank you for your participation in the Cooperative Legacy Project.
Boy, I appreciate every moment of it. I like the work I do. That's half of it. That's half the job, you know, liking it. Yep. And we've been pretty successful. And I don't want to take credit alone. There was more people working besides me. So, but I appreciated it.
Okay.
And I think the people are appreciating it. They won't tell you that, but some of them do, not all of them, no.